Hi everyone, in this video I will show you how to make this cool looking code rain effect. So this is a post-process based effect, meaning that you can add this effect to any level very easily. You don't really have to change the material for any of the meshes in your world. You just have to add a single material to the post-process volume and you will get this effect really fast. So here if I press the E key, you will see the world kind of dissolving away like that, and you can see the real world. And now if I press E again, so here you can see that our code rain effect kind of dissolves in, and here you can see that some really cool fake reflections on the world like this. So here I can control this alpha parameter like this to control the dissolve like that. And here if I press play, I have this really cool partially dissolved effect like this. So you can control the amount of dissolve using the alpha like this. And here we have this material instance with a lot of controls. So here I have this local alpha. If I tick this, I can change this alpha to control the dissolve like this. And here I can also change the alpha texture. So if I change the texture to this fire texture, I can have an effect like this, and I can change the tiling also. So I can have an effect like this by changing the tiling and with the alpha. And here I will just set this like this, and I can change the color like this. So you can have a really cool effect like this. And here I will just change the map. So here I have the default third person map, and if I change the reflection amount to like 0, you can have an effect like this. And here you can control the colors like this. And if you want some reflection, you can give a really small value here like that, or you can change the reflection cube here. So if I just select this reflection cube and change the reflection value, I have this reflection now. And here I can also change the alpha like this and dissolve the world like that. And here I will just set the reflection to 0.02, and I can change the edge width like this. And then I can change the section amount, kind of gives a look like this. And I can also change the size. So this will control the overall size. So now we can change the alpha tiling like this. So it will make the characters really huge. Now I will set the alpha to 0, so it will be fully visible. And here you can see all of these textures. I will give you one of them for free, and the rest of them are Patreon bonuses. So if I select this texture and add this, we will get an effect like this. And if I select this and add it, you can get a binary effect like this one. Or if I select this and add this, you can get this effect, or this one, or this, or this one. So this is like a Viking rune texture, and these are like Greek symbols. And here you can also control the speed. So if I change the speed to 1, it will be really fast, or 0.1, it will be really slow like this. And you can change the edge color to whatever you like. So this is what we are going to be creating today. And if you want to support my channel and download this project file, and also all the project files from the past 6 years from my channel, you can download them all from my Patreon for $5. And also you will also get this bonus texture with the project files. And if you are already my patron, thank you very much for supporting this channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So in order to make this effect, first we will create the post-process material. So for that, right click, then go to material. I will call this M code rain, then open it up. Then we need to go to material domain and change this to a post-process material. So you will get an MEC color. We only need this. Then we can go here and search for blend and set this to scene color before depth of field. Then here we can bring in our texture. So I will give you one texture. So bring that in. The links will be in the description below. And if I just connect this here and click apply, and if I go here and create a material instance, now we can go to the post-process volume here and go to post-process material and click this add element and click asset. Then select this and add that. So now you can see that our texture is displayed onto the screen. And here, if I go here and get a UV coordinate, and if I break this, before that, I will just get a multiply and I will get a scalar parameter. I will call this size and then set this to like 10 and connect it here. And if I connect it here and click apply, you can see that our texture is like a line on the screen like this. But we want to see the letters. So in order to do that, we can go back here and we need to change the x-axis only. So only this one. But here if you change the size, the overall size will change. So if I go to the instance and here if I just increase or decrease the size, the overall size will change, but the proportion of the texture won't change. Here we just need to change the x-axis. So here you can see that the x-axis has a red color. So here we have this red channel and the green channel. So if I just click it, so here you can see a red value and a green value for the texture coordinate. So here we can just multiply the R with 10 and we can make a float. So select make float 2 and now connect green to here and connect this to the UV and click apply. Now we can see our letters. So now I can connect this multiply back again, and here also you can create a parameter if you want to control this independently. So now click apply, and now here we can change it like this and clearly see the text and see the text like this. So now we need to make this align to the surface of the world. In order to do that, we need to project it onto the world. So to do that, we can go here and we can get a world position node. Then we can divide this, and this parameter should be the size parameter. So just duplicate that. So here you can see that it has X, Y, and Z. So it has red channel, green channel, and the blue channel. But our UV coordinate will only take 2 channels at a time. So if I just connect it here, we will get an error because this is a float 3 and it will only accept a float 2. So in order to make this float 2, we can get a component mask node by dragging this and typing in mask and select component mask, then duplicate it again, and this time just tick G and B, then duplicate this again, and this time just tick G and B here, and here tick R and B. Now move this up here and get a lerp and connect it here and connect this here and get another lerp and then connect it here and connect this here. And now we can connect this to the break here and to the UV here. So now it is not showing that error. So now if I click apply, so now here if I just go to the instance and increase the size, you can see that it is getting applied to the world, but this is not perfect and we need to fix this. We can supply the world normal here for the alphas, so we can apply the mask to only that direction. So if I go here and type in scene texture, and here if I just change this to world normal, and I can get a mask here and tick only R and get another mask and only tick B here. And if I just connect this to the MC color and click apply, just click continue. So here you can see that our world normal gave color to our world. So here this kind of represent the direction of the world normal. So we can use this to map the texture onto the world. So whether we need to use RG, GB or RB can be determined by using these colors. So one more thing we need to do is that here you can see a black color, but this is not actually black or 0 value. This is actually a negative value. So if you absolute this, you can also see that value. So here it can be like negative G, it will be like -1 for G, etc. So here the absolute node also made that negative value positive, so we can see it. So here we need to do an absolute for the R and the B. Then here we need to round these values. So we will just get the highest integer value. So if it is 0.2, it will be rounded to 0. And if it is 0.6, it will be rounded to 1. So we will either get a 0 or 1 here. So we can connect this here and connect this here. And now if I just connect this to the MC color and click apply. So here we have to use RG. And on the top we have to use RB. And now click apply. So now here we can see that it is perfectly aligned to the world like that. So this is what we want. Now we will create the individual random movement of each of the codes going downwards. So in order to do that, we can go here, and here we can just break this and get a multiply and set this value to like 1.2, then get a frac. This will only get the fractional part of the input, so it will just repeat over and over again like a sine wave, etc. And now we can just saturate this so our value won't go above 1 or below 0. And if I just connect this to the MC color and click apply, so here you can see the bands we created using the frac. And here now we need to make this move. So in order to do that, we can go here and get a panel and put it between this. So we can just clean this up by dragging this and then pressing the period button and then go to add named reroute declaration node, and we can call this world UV. Now if I go here, right click and type in world UV, we can get that reroute node. So we can just connect this here and connect this to the float here, and then we can just duplicate this and bring it and connect this here also. We don't really need this anymore, so delete that. And now here we can just set this value to like 1 and click apply. So now you can see that it is moving. So now go back, and here we can get a lerp, and we can drag this and type in make float 2. So the X value should be 0. We only want to control the Y value. So connect that here and connect this to the Y here. Here if you want to control the overall speed, you can get a time node and get a multiply and get a scalar parameter and call this overall speed and set this value to like 0.5 and connect it here and connect this to the time. And here for this multiply, we can get a scalar parameter and call this section amount, and we will default this to 1.2, and we can connect this here and click apply. Now if I open the instance, if I change the section amount, you can see that I can change the number of sections like that. So I will set this to like 0.2, 1.2, and this overall speed I can change, and the speed will be really fast, or 0.5. This will be great speed for our effect. Now we can just multiply this with this and click apply. So now we have this effect. We don't really have the random motion yet, but we have this motion going down like this. But here we want to invert this effect. Here you can see that the bright portion is on top. We want this to be at the bottom. So we need to invert this. So in order to do this, we can go here and we can just break this. And here we can just make float 2 and connect R to X. And for G, we can just 1 minus this and connect this to the Y here and click apply. Now you can see the bright portion is at the bottom, but now our effect is moving upwards. So in order to fix this, we can go here to the time and we can get a multiply and multiply this with -1. So it will go in the opposite direction. So if I click apply, now you can see that it is going down and the bottom is brighter. Now we need to have a power node here and give it a value of 4. So it will add some contrast between the bottom portion and the top portion and connect this to the multiply. Then here we can get a lerp and we can get a power node again, and now we can call this main power and default this to 1.2 and connect this to the alpha. Then get 2 vector parameters by pressing and holding V and clicking. So one is this one, so I will call this color 1, and the next is this one, I will call this C2. Then connect it here and connect it here and connect this to the MC color. And for this one I will give a yellowish color or maybe a darker green color. And for this one I will give a bright yellow green color like this. So here you can see that the color is blowing up our screen. So in order to fix this, we can just get a multiply and connect this here and connect this to the MC color and click apply. Now we have this effect. And here we can change the color, etc. So if I tick this and change the color like this, I can have any color I want. And if I change the main power, I can control the contrast like that. Now to give random motion to the different quadrants, we have to give random values for lerp here. So for each individual quadrant, we need to provide a different speed value. So in order to do that, we can do this using a curve asset. So to do that, right click, then go to miscellaneous, then go to curve, and then go to curve linear color and select this. And I will call this CB random, then open it up. Then we can just use the alpha. So here we have 10 division. So we can just double click here and here and here and here and here and here, here, here and here. Then we can give random values here. So I will give a value of 7.7 here. I will give a value of 0.2 here. And here I will give a value of 0.5. Here I will give a value of 3.5. And here I will give a value of 0.8. Here I will give a value of 0.27. Here I will give a value of 0.9. Here I will give a value of 0.4. This is just random values. You can give any value you want. Just don't have values that are closer to each other. And here I will give a value of 0.6. Here and here maybe we can give a value of 0.2, 1. And this one we can give a value of 0.75. Now we can select all of this and go to constant interpolation. So we have these bars and just move this to the line so it fits perfectly. Now we need to bring this into our material. So if I go here and try to drag and drop this in, it won't work. So in order to make this work, we need to create a curve atlas. So right click, then go to miscellaneous, then go to curve atlas. Then we can call this CAT random, then open it up. Here we only need 1 pixel width for the vertical, and for the texture width we can set this to like 128. So it should be a power of 2. So we will have this thin strip of texture. Now we can add our gradient. So we can just add this one in here and we can just drag this and drop this into our material. So now just select the curve atlas and drag and drop this here. And now we can connect this here and connect the alpha here. And here we can change the sampler source to wrap. So it will just repeat. And now just click apply. So now you can see that our code rain is moving at different speeds like this. So this is what we want. Now here if I just press play, you can see that our character is also affected by the code rain. We don't really want that because it doesn't really look that good on the character. So in order to mask this out, we can go to the material and we can go here and then we can just copy the scene texture, paste it here and change this to post-process input 0. So if I just connect this to the MUC color, you can see that it is our normal color like this. So now here we can just get a lerp and connect it here and connect this to the B here and connect this to the MUC color. So we will get an error because this is a 4 vector. So we can just drag this and type mask and select B also and then just connect this here like that. Now for the alpha, we can type in scene depth, then just duplicate this one and change this to custom depth and just untick G and B and then do a subtract here and a seal, then a saturate. So our value won't go above 1 or below 0. This seal will just round the value to the next highest integer. So if it is 0.5, it will be 1. If it is 1.2, it will be 2, etc. Now if I just connect this to the alpha here and click apply, so nothing is visible. So if I just go here and type in custom and click this, so here I messed up the order. Just connect this to B and connect this to the A and click apply. So now here you can see that with the custom depth pass ticked, it will be isolated. So if I untick this, it will be visible again. So one more thing you can do is that if you just 1 minus this, you can have the reverse effect like that. You can only have it for one material like that. So it's really cool. And you can also add that here like that. And obviously, if I go to the third person blueprint here, and now if I just select the mesh and type in custom, and I can pick this custom depth pass, and now if I go back to the material and just connect this back to the alpha and click apply, now if I just press play, you can see that our character isn't really affected by the effect like that, and also the sky isn't affected. Now we can tidy this up a bit by just selecting all of this and right click, then collapse this to a node, and we can call this custom depth. And then here we can collapse all of this to a node also, and we can call this sections node. Now we can just save this. Now we need to add some reflections to this. So for that, we can get an add node and a reflection vector. Then we need to get a cube map for this. For that, we can go to the third person map. Then we can go to the engine, and here just type in cube and get this cube map 01, t cube map 01, then bring that in. Then connect this here, and we can get a multiply and then get a scalar parameter, and we can call this reflection amount. So this will control the visibility of the reflection, and we can default this to like 0.1 and connect this here and connect this to the add and connect this here and connect this to the B. Right click and convert this to a parameter, and we can type in reflection texture, and then we can just select all of this and collapse this to a node, and we can call this reflection nodes. Then click apply. Then we can open the material instance, and here I can increase the reflection amount like this, or I can set this to like 0.01, so it is barely visible like this. So it is barely visible, or I can set this to like 0.05 like that, or 0.02 like this. So it will give a cool look. Now we can add the world dissolve effect. For that, we can go to the material again, and here after the reflection, we can get a lerp, and here after the reflection, and here we can just move this here and get a lerp, and connect this here and connect this here, and then connect this to the MSC. Now we need to have a texture to dissolve the world. So for that, we can go to the third person map, then go to the starter content. Then here we can get this fire texture and bring that in. And here we also need the world UV, so this one. So just duplicate that and bring it here. And now get a scalar parameter and call this alpha, and the slider max value should be 1. So we will move this from 0 to 1, and we will dissolve the world and also reveal the world using the code rain effect by using this value. So here we have to multiply this by 2. So this value at 0 will become 0, and at 1 it will become 2. And here we need to subtract this by 1. So at 0 it will be -1, and at 2 it will be 1. So we just remap the value from -1 to 1. So here if you subtract that by this value and connect this to the MSC color and click apply, and here if I just increase alpha, you can see that we can make the world go from white to black. And if we connect this to the alpha here and MSC here, then we can divide this by 20, so it will be a little bit bigger, and click apply. And if I increase alpha like that, you can see that we can dissolve the world with this effect like this. But now we have an issue here. This is because this value is going above 1 or below 0, but alpha only accepts value that are between 0 and 1. So in order to fix this issue, we can just clamp this between 0 and 1. So a way to do that is by using the saturate node. So just connect this to the alpha and click apply. Now we won't have that issue. And here you can also make a parameter here for controlling the scale. And now we can get a multiply before the saturate and connect this here and get a scalar parameter. We can call this edge width and bring it up like this and connect this here. And here we can just saturate this again. So this value won't go above 1. And then we can 1 minus this and also round this value. So it is either 1 or 0. So if the value is 0.2 or something like that, it will be rounded to 0. And if the value is above 0.5, it will be rounded to 1. And this 1 minus just inverts our value. So we can get an edge here. So now we can just multiply this with a vector parameter and call this edge color. And we can set this value to like a green color like this and connect this here. And for this, we can give a value of 20 for now and then move it here and move it here. And we can just add this before the custom depth like this. And now we can select all of this and we can collapse this to a node and we can call this dissolve nodes. Now click apply. And if I open the instance and if I decrease alpha, you can see the effect coming in and out like this. But now we need to fix one more thing. Here we need to seal this value. So it is either 0 or 1 and the seal will round any value that is above 0 to 1 and we can connect that to the alpha here. So now we have this nice edge and if we increase the edge width, we can just decrease it or like this. So if you want to rename this to something that makes sense, because when we increase it, it kind of reduces the width. So maybe you can rename this to something that makes more sense. So now we have this edge and so yeah, we have this dissolve effect and with the alpha, we can control this like this. So now let's control this with a blueprint. For that, right click, then go to material, then get a material parameter collection and I will call this PC code, then open it up. Then we just need a scalar parameter and we can call this alpha and then close this. We don't really need that. And now we can go to the material and here we can go into the dissolve node, then replace the alpha with a collection parameter and we can call this alpha and connect this here and then connect this here and click apply. Then we can go to the third person blueprint and here right click and type in R keyboard event, then get a timeline, then get a flip-flop. So when we press R the first time, A will fire. So connect that to play from start. And when we press R again, B will fire. So connect that to reverse from end. Or if you need continuity, we can also connect this to play and a reverse. And you can test out whichever works for you. Then open this up. And here we can set the length to 10 and add a float track. And shift click here and set the time to 0 and then shift click here and here set the time to 10 and the value to 1, then click on this and this, so it will normalize the views and select all of this and so it will be a little bit smoother like that. Then here we can just drag and type in set scalar parameter value and then select the PC code parameter collection we created. Then connect this to the parameter value and change the parameter name to alpha and then compile it and press play. Now if I press the R key, it will just dissolve like this. And if I press the R key again, it will come into the world like this. So here one thing to notice that, so because we added the post-process material to the post-process volume here like this, even when this scalar value is 0 or 1, when it is not visible. That doesn't mean this effect is in rendering in the background, using up resources even if you can't see it. So one way to fix that is by applying that to the camera. So here if I just select the camera and type in material, you can add this to the camera also here, and you can control that using the blueprint. So you can add the material and remove etc. So it won't render in the background. You can either watch my scan effect or my Witcher Sense effect to see how it is added to the camera if you want. Now as a bonus, I will show you how the outlines are made. So in order to add that, you can go here and then we can just select this both and cut it and connect it back. Click apply. Then go back here and then paste that here. And here we can just get an add node and connect it here and connect it here and connect this to the add here also. And here I will just press 1 and click. So we get this constant value and connect this here. So this is where our outlines go. So now I will just select this and comment outlines here and then click apply. So in order to make the outlines, I will show you an overview. And if you want a more detailed description, just watch my outlines video. So here, if I just open this up, the outlines look like this. So here we have this 2 vector. So press and hold 2 and click. So we get this. So the first one is 0, 1. And the second one is 0, -1. Third one is 1 and 0. And the fourth and final one is -1 and 0. And these nodes all just repeats. So, and here we will just connect this outline thickness to all of these like this. So I will just show it here like this. And you can just copy this from the screen. So here after the and, we have this multiply and power. And yeah, it kind of looks like this. So just copy all of this. And here it is just connected to the dissolve node like this before the color. So you just connect the outlines here and it should work. So right now we have this. And if I just press play, and now here if I just press the R key, it will dissolve like this. And now if I just press R again, you can see that it is appearing into the world. Now I will show you how to add the sky map also. So we can go here and before the final lerp, we can get another lerp and connect this here and connect this to B and then get an if node and get a scene depth node. So the scene depth is just a distance of everything in the world to the camera. So if it is very close to the camera, it will be 0 or black, and if it is really far away, it will be really bright. So we can just mask out the sky by giving a really large value here. And if A is greater than B, this value, then it will be the sky. So we can just give a value of 0 here. And if A is less than B, then it will be our world. So we can give a value of 1 here. I think we don't really need the lerp here. We can just use a multiply like this. And if I just click apply, and now it is black. And if I just press play and press the R key, so our sky kind of updated really fast. So we can fix that by going back. And here for the 0, we can type in collection parameter. And it should be the one we created. And select alpha. So this value goes from 0 to 1. So if I just connect this to the 0 here and click apply. And now if I press R, you can see that it is fading in really nice. Like that. And if I press R again, and here I will just do a cleanup. So our final graph look like this. So click apply. Now if you need to speed this up, you can go back to the third person character, then go to event begin play, then drag in our timeline, and here type in set play rate and set this to like 3, So it will be really fast. So now if I just press play and press the R key, it will dissolve like this. And if I press it, we will get this effect. So I think that's it for the tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to download the entire project file, you can download this from my Patreon. The links will be in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and supporting my channel.